What is the best storyline in the early 90s, says Hannah. Best storyline in the early 90s. Well, that's interesting question. The first thing that comes to my mind, and actually I think we spoke about it the other day, is Macho Man. And we were talking about Macho Man's story going from when he loses the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 3, going all the way through to when he comes back from retiring, is an amazing story because he is Intercontinental Champion, obviously loses it to Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. Then, of course, he goes into the tournament to win the championship, the WWE Championship, WWF at the time, at WrestleMania 4. Wins it there. Then, of course, we get the Mega Powers. Mega Powers explode because of jealousy. And then, of course, at WrestleMania 5, we get Macho Man against his former tag partner, Hulk Hogan. At WrestleMania 5, Macho Man losing that championship. He goes on to become the Macho King, and he kind of turns heel. He's heel in that process, of course, when he faces Hogan. Elizabeth is out. Sensational Sherry is in. And so then he goes on this run as a heel. And it all builds up to him against Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania 7, and it's a loser has to retire match. And Macho loses to the Ultimate Warrior. Sensational Sherry turns her back on the Macho Man, and in the crowds is Miss Elizabeth. And that moment where she jumps over the railing and actually grabs Sensational Sherry, like drags her off the Macho Man, like chucks her out the ring, and the crowd are going crazy because Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man are about to reunite after he turned his back on her, turned heel, faced Hogan at WrestleMania 5, had a feud with Dusty Rhodes. He was the Macho King. She was the Sensational Queen, Sherry. And Miss Elizabeth was on the outside. Them reuniting and, basically going off into the sunset is a hell of a story, really, from, that builds, all the way through, quite a number of years. And then, of course, he gets married at SummerSlam with the match made in heaven. And so that's amazing. I mean, that's just amazing. A wedding at SummerSlam. They were already married by that point. But they get married. And then at the wedding reception, that's where Jake the Snake and Undertaker actually attack. And Macho is so desperate to go after them and dish out revenge, Jack Tunney actually reinstates him, and the Macho Man is then back. So for me, that's probably the best story, 90 to 95. There's other ones. I mean, you've got Bret Hart. Bret and Owen and that situation. I enjoyed the Lex Express and him and Yokozuna and, him turning into a good guy. I enjoyed that story. The rise of Ultimate Warrior, 1990 Warrior and Hogan. I enjoyed that. The Ultimate Challenge. Ric Flair coming over with the championship belts. And, us build into Flair Hogan, which we never got at WrestleMania. But him coming over, bringing the real world's championship. All of that was really, really good stuff. But I think for me, that Macho story, him and Elizabeth, and getting back together again, and the match made in heaven, story-wise, I love that journey. So I'd probably go with that.